Time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Welcome, everybody. We are back, episode 2 of season 8 of the Wake Up Happy Sis show, broadcasting live and in living color on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we're changing the narrative for our people because we're telling our stories our way at all times. We're unapologetic about it. It's who we are. Don't come for us because we did not send for you. So, I'm your host, Leanne Dose, your Chief Self-Love Officer over here at Wake Up Happy Sis, and I have my extra awesome co-host, Miss Sharonda Seeley here, and we're coming to you with another dope episode of Wake Up Happy Sis. Today, we're really diving deep into, what are we talking about today? We are talking about Nourish to Flourish, Minority Health Uncovered, because you and I both know that these health streets are not the same when it comes to communities of color, right? So I want us to really dig deep and talk about what it means to eat well when the deck is stacked against you, right? How our neighborhoods affect our health choices and things that we can do to change the game for ourselves and for our loved ones, because education and knowledge is power, right? So, as always, grab your favorite cup of whatever, because we don't judge around here, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, right? And get ready to be empowered, enlightened, informed. Hopefully we'll have a laugh or two and no cries on this episode. But yeah, let's get it popping. So how are you doing today, Miss Sharonda?
I am doing pretty amazing balls and just being a blessing. Today is a great day and I'm here for it today.
Me too. I have been under the weather. So if you guys are hearing my voice, you can see I still sound congested a little bit. But I'm on the road to recovery. I'm feeling better today. But the last couple of days has been rough. Your girl was down for the count. So minority health, the discussion today is very apropos because, baby, I was sick. And it only really happens when I'm normally a healthy person. It really only happens when it's a change of seasons. So changing out of winter and changing into winter, that's usually when I get sick. The rest of the year, I'm like, la, 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 live my best life. So, but it was kicking my butt. But I'm feeling much better now. My congestion's almost cleared up. And your girl's back, about to be outside and in these streets again. So, so let's get started talking about some of the health disparities that we kind of see in our communities. And so, what are health disparities, right? So, health disparities are preventable differences in the burden of disease, injury, violence, and opportunities to achieve optimal health experienced by socially disadvantaged populations. Okay, so our opportunities or lack of opportunities, they're always preventable, right? We can have education in the poor communities. We can have better health resources. We could have better food choices in our communities. So when we're talking about health disparities, those preventable differences, the fact that you go into some communities and you see a Whole Foods, you see Publix, you see Kroger, you see farmers markets. You go into the inner city, into the more urban, the lower economic communities, You see more fast food restaurants, more
Hmm.
gas stations or little convenience stores. Not as many, you won't see as many Publix. You'll see a Walmart, but you typically don't see a lot of the farmers markets, places where you're going to be able to get fresh fruits, vegetables, things of that nature. It's used largely more packaged foods, fast foods, liquor
Hmm.
stores, things of that nature on every corner, where you don't see that
Hmm.
in a lot of the affluent communities. That's what we're talking about when we're
Hmm.
talking about health disparities, right? So, according to
Hmm.
the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Black Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non Hispanic white Americans,
Get out.
right? 30%. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey.
30% more likely. Now, these disparities are rooted in economic stability, education access, societal and community context, healthcare access, neighborhood environments. If you're in an environment where you're not used to or you're not safe going out and playing and being in nature, right? You've got some inner city communities, these kids have never even been to the woods. They don't know what it's like
Wow.
to run in a meadow full of flowers. What they call it, the concrete jungle in some of these places, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have access to the good, clean, healthy options, that's where the health disparities come into play. And that's where you can really see the difference. Look at some of the schools. Some of these schools are so run down. The books are old texts. They have older technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. But they're telling us that we're getting a fair shake. We're not all the time. So,
Starting way behind the start line
oh
than
yeah,
everybody else because of the access.
yeah. Like Tanya said, she's in an environment that lacks good foods, schools, and healthcare. And that's the thing, Tanya. We have to, and but sometimes it's not about moving out. Sometimes it's about fighting to get what's needed in our communities too. But if that environment ain't good for you, yes, as soon as you can get out, get out. But
Mm-hmm.
we also need those people who are going to be willing to stand up and to fight for those in that community who may not be able to fight for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we need the global community to stand up and to talk about these injustices, right? Because these historic injustices, they always have long-lasting effects on minority health. We talk about the Tuskegee syphilis study. Come on, that uh,
Hmm.
you just gave people syphilis to see how Black people die.
Girl, you
That
already know I feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah. And that really damaged the trust between Black communities and healthcare providers. They did after
Mm-hmm.
that, they didn't want to go to the doctors. They weren't going to the doctors. Would you?
Girl, or the situations where they're like taking they're supposed to be doing one particular procedure, but they'll go in there and like, you know, what's the term where you take people's reproductive organs and they don't know it because it's all about
Harvesting.
population control and all of the things and stuff, and these people don't know that they've been destroyed and can't reproduce and stuff. Girl,
Yeah. You go in to have
uh,
you have one baby and they tie your tubes while they're in there
and don't tell you and stuff.
and don't tell you. There's
And to little girls, young girls.
yeah, there have been lots of instances where they have um, illegally done procedures and testing on us in the name of
Hmm.
science because they feel like we're aliens or some shit. We bleed the same way you do. We hurt, we heal the same way you do.
Hmm. Girl.
But they've always tried to use us as testing tools, ground. But we
Did you
have
hear about that Henrietta Lacks family was successful in their journey to get some type of reparations for Henrietta Lacks's sales being just like girl
one of her stem cells that was the cure for was it cancer or something?
so
Yes. Yes. You took it. If it
incredible.
wasn't for her, if it wasn't for her, they would not have the advancements. And they've done that. She wasn't the only person. I can't remember the other person's name. There's somebody else. It was a gentleman. I feel like he was maybe Hispanic. I could be wrong, but
And they I mean,
it's
why do you have to beg for some type of a financial um reparations of some kind because you took it and you weren't you stuck, girl.
so
You about to
let's
get me started. You about to get me started. You
that's
about to
why
get you stole it. You fucking stole it. You stole it.
yes. Yes.
And they
And
weren't probably trying to give her any kind of, her family any kind of
they weren't.
reparations.
Their goal was they were never going to compensate her family for anything. The fact that you guys have made millions and billions of dollars off of her cells that you were not supposed to have, did not have any kind of authority to use and test on her. Like, come on. I hate it.
I need to go and watch that movie with was it with Oprah? They did the story about her life, about Henrietta Lacks.
Mm, okay. I need to go
I think
check
it
on
came out during the pandemic. I
during
think
the pandemic.
it's with. Hmm.
Well, if somebody got the link or whatever, post it in the comments and so we'll look at it and we can come back and talk about it later in the month or something. So
Hmm.
today, side note, today we're doing a bit of a shorter show because I'm still on the mend and Sharonda's got a plane to catch. Her got a plane to catch, so we want to make sure that we're respectful of our time for today. One of the things I want to talk about is we already know the health disparities, right? I want to talk a
Uh-huh.
little bit about the role of nutrition and how we can focus on trying to get um, a more balanced diet even in places where we don't may not always have access to the best foods, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
the nutritional disparities, they really contribute to the prevalence of chronic diseases that we see in minority communities.
Hmm. Hmm.
Black Americans have a 77% higher risk of diabetes compared to white counterparts. And it's largely due to the quality of our diets, access to healthy foods, and other obviously socioeconomic factors. We can't afford the goddamn healthy food. The
Girl,
health
let me tell you something.
is
We
expensive.
just learned something that if you eat your foods in order, like mom is a diabetic, and so we found some video on YouTube. You learn how to do anything on YouTube.
Mhm.
But this French scientist discovered that if because she has diabetes, so the thing that diabetics suffer from are the spikes, the when their blood sugar goes way too high or if it goes way too low, and that's because you're eating your food in out of order. So the thing is, you got to get your fruits and vegetables in first because the fiber coats the inside of the stomach, and then you eat your proteins and your carbs, and then the fiber acts as a barrier, and it won't allow the carbs to get into the bloodstream, and you'll just pass it. And she, did this for about a week or two, and she saw it because she has really bad um, low spikes.
Mhm.
And she did that, and she ate her food in order because we do smoothies all the time. So we get our roughage in first, your fruits and vegetables, and all your fiber in first, so it can coat your stomach. Then you eat your protein and your carbs, and it passes instead of going and leaking into your doggone bloodstream, which is causing the doggone spikes. And I'm telling you, if you put your food in your body in that order, you will see some doggone results. I promise you. I mean, it's miraculous how
I
fast
think that's
she saw the
important.
doggone results. Mm-hmm.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important to note. I think that's really a good point. Is one, we have to be educated about the conditions that we have or that our loved ones have, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to get the information. Stop waiting for somebody and a doctor to tell you. Do your own research. Do
And
your
and so the information came from a doctor that he found on doggone YouTube. I mean,
oh,
the
and
simplest
yes,
thing. Eat your
please
stuff in order.
find reputable resources. Don't just take any quack hack that say they know. Find reputable
Mm-hmm.
resources, but do your own research, and then you can take that back to your primary care provider, to a nutritionist, whatever. A lot of times in
Mm-hmm.
our healthcare plans, we may have provisions where we can see a nutritionist, dietitian, or something like that within our healthcare plans. We need to be knowledgeable about what our options are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about food deserts. Do you know what a food desert is?
Mm-hmm. Like you just said, in a
Uh-oh.
well economically, you find all ash and trash instead of a doggone farmer's market. You find fast
Mhm.
food. You find, even if you have a doggone tienda or a store, the doggone quality of the produce sucks. And it's
Yeah.
like, who are you expecting to eat this? And then let's talk about the doggone foods that are banned in other parts of the world, but they still serving that shit up in the doggone US. Make it
Yes.
make sense now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And those food deserts, they're disproportionately affecting our community because
Mm,
we're in the lower socioeconomic classes oftentimes. And either the food is bad or it's so expensive you can only afford the trash. And that's what you have.
mm,
When I was younger, what I started noticing is I started looking in the carts of different people. There was one time my aunt
mm,
was in the store, my grandmother was in the store, and looking at their carts was very different. My aunt's cart was all processed shit.
mm,
Everything in there
mm.
was in a box. My grandmother was all fruits and vegetables, very, very healthy, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, that mentality gets us because
Mm.
we're going and you're trying to stretch your money farther, especially if you're on welfare or some kind of
And why
assistance.
does it cost so much? Why does the fruits and vegetables cost more than the processed, the overly processed stuff?
That's
Ugh.
the part I don't know because they can put a bunch of fillers and other stuff in the processed foods so that what you're saying is it's orange flavored. Ain't no orange in there. It's fake,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot cheaper for them. I would rather go and shop. I stay in Ellenwood, Georgia, just a suburb
Mm-hmm.
right outside of Atlanta. And one of the things I've got to do, it didn't just open, but they're expanding this little small farmers market that's by my house. Like it's a 5-minute drive. I was like, oh, I need to take my ass over there every week, and that's where I'm going to start getting my vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Create yourself a little garden. You can do that in your house. They have all manner of options for you to create your own little gardens and growing small things around your house or in your house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Creating community gardens. Those are great. One of my friends who passed away recently, we were going to start a community garden
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to be able to have fresh fruits and vegetables that were low, didn't have all the pesticides on them. That
Right. Right.
because some of the stuff that don't have other things put in them to make them last longer on the shelf when you're in the produce department. So, we wanted to create our own. So, community gardens and local food initiatives really give powerful ways for us to combat food insecurity, promote healthy eating, and give us better access to quality produce that isn't breaking the bank for you to feed your family. So
Girl.
look in your
That part.
community, look in your communities and see if you guys have some. If not, get on the neighborhood app and ask people that are in your community who's interested in starting a community garden and get together. Go get the seeds from a farmer because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know the quality of the things you're getting in some of these stores.
Girl.
I'm trying to buy seeds at the farmer's market. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you're looking at how you can get healthier foods and vegetables into your house, into your diets. If your kids don't
Yep.
like them, and if your kid, one, can we just say this? Because I get so tired of when I hear parents, and I'm talking about y'all right now, okay? I get so tired when I hear parents say, my kids don't like vegetables.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
My husband don't eat vegetables. If you started your children out early with those options, they would not have a problem with them earlier later in life. My children
That's right.
always love vegetables because that's what they were used to eating.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were used to eating from the time they were small babies,
Yep.
right? We have to,
Hmm.
and sometimes you have to be creative in how you give them.
Absolutely that part. So for us, I make fresh smoothies several times a week. And if not, then if trying to get in all your nutrients and stuff, you'll be grazing all doggone day.
Mhm.
So so when I do the smoothies, I'm introducing fruits and vegetables that we wouldn't normally eat, and I'm mixing them. I'm not juicing, I'm blending, and we're getting all of the pulp. That's what the difference is between juicing and blending. Juicing gets rid of all of the pulp, which is the stuff that you need. And blending, like get yourself a super powerful blender, like a Vitamix or something like that, and make the blend until smooth. And you can. I do when I'm at home. I take my doggone smoothies before each doggone meal. Like I said earlier, get your doggone fruits and vegetables in first,
That's
or
right.
eat a salad first and then eat everything else. And you don't have to have a guilty pleasure, because the reason why for the spikes in the when the blood sugar goes up too high, or when it, oh good, I love smoothies, Tanya said, or when the blood sugar goes too doggone low, is because the carbs are escaping into the doggone
Your bloodstream.
bloodstream.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm telling you, try it. Make that simple change and go for your salad or your fruits and vegetables first. Like when we were out at Texas Roadhouse last week, and you know how they bring you these great big old yeast rolls, the size of my head, right, almost. And so we were like, okay, so we're gonna eat that last, or we're going to eat our salads first, and then enjoy your meal with the yeast rolls. And you, because again, everything in order. You get your fruits and vegetables in first, get your salad down there first, so it could do the preventative work of coating the stomach first, preparing the stomach
Right.
first, and then throw that protein down there and the carbs and the rest, and you have a more satiating meal, and I could barely get through one of the doggone yeast rolls because I ate the fiber first, because the fiber will make fill you up quicker,
Yeah,
and so then you eat less of the carbs and stuff. I'm telling y'all, it's that doggone simple. Make that simple change, and you'll see for yourself. Especially the ones out there, struggling with the diabetes. You can live with diabetes when you get your food and nourishment in order.
that's right. And I want to give a couple of tips, right, on some
Hmm.
things that we can do, right?
Hmm.
One,
Hmm.
work on getting a personalized nutrition plan for you, right? As you get older, you you have to think about different ways of eating because your metabolism naturally typically slows
Because
down
you
of that nature.
right, you're older now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you can
Hmm.
eat for your
Hmm.
blood type, right?
Hmm.
So you can eat for
Hmm.
your blood type, and that's supposed to help. But getting a personalized nutrition plan is really a key point in addressing your individual health needs, right?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. And
higher
also
hypertension.
get a blood test. Get a
Yeah.
blood test or an allergy test to see if you're allergic to anything. Ask your doctor for it. And matter of fact, I did it right before we came, so I should have some results from my doctor before I get back, and then we'll know because if you can eat for your to get rid of anti-inflammatory issues too
Hmm.
and stuff. So I'm telling you, y'all can get doggone armed with information that will save your life and extend your life as well.
Yes. And make sure that we're not just dealing with our physical health, that we're also
Mm,
dealing with our mental health. Talk to your
absolutely.
doctor, get mental health resources, look at your healthcare plan and see what the options are. Normally,
Hmm.
some of them come with 4 a year, 6 a year, where you can go and talk to a therapist, right? You may not
Hmm.
even think you have things to deal with. We all have issues and things and trauma in our past that may be holding us back from other things that may be weighing on. Life is stressful, right?
Hmm.
So eat for your blood type. Get personalized nutrition that's based on your needs, physical, mental, emotional, right? Talk to
Hmm.
professionals to help you. Yes, honey, we got to keep our mind intact because when we're
Hmm.
not healthy up here, a lot of times it's going to reflect in our physical as well because we're not eating well,
Hmm.
exercising, we're not sleeping well, right? Don't worry about the
Hmm.
stigma of mental health because we have to do what's right for us and also engage in community health advocacy. We have to be active participants in the health of ourselves, our family, and our community. We have a requirement to do this in our communities too, not just for our households. We have to fight for our communities because nobody else is fighting for us. Black women die giving birth way more than any other race. Why in this day and age? We have to be advocates. We have to stay educated. We have to stay empowered and we have to stay locked in and together. We have to get rid of all this he versus me, she versus we mentality that we have. We have to go back to being a strong, Black, connected community that fights for one another. When we do that, we will improve our communities. We're going to get these community gardens going. We're going to help families that may not have access to these things. You've got an older lady on your block who can't get out. When you get you some vegetables and stuff, bring her some too.
Hmm.
Time for us to go back to looking out for us. Because if we don't, we will surely fail. Nobody is going to save us. It's time for us to save ourselves.
We
So,
are the ones, right?
So as we wrap up, because like I said, it's a short episode today. We're sorry. But think about what you can do to change your diet, to change your outlook, to change your mentality, to change your environment, to improve your overall health, wellness, and happiness. Think about it,
Absolutely.
write it down, make the plan clear, and then start to implement. That's the only way that we can be assured that we're going to wake up happy every day, sis. And with that, we're going to wrap up another episode of the Wake Up Happy Sis Show on KCCR Cityscape Radio. Sharonda, tell the people how they can get in contact with you.
Bookkeepingforlife.com. It's still time to get your books together with an extension if you need it, but give me a call. Have a good day.
And if you want to get to know us better, make sure you log in to Facebook, jump in the Facebook group. We do have a new membership that's going to be opening next month, our Sister Circle membership. So if you love the kind of stuff we talk about on the show and you want to help build a community for strong Black women like yourself, like us, then that community is going to be for you. It's only going to be $67 a month. That ain't even a lot. That's a couple of trips to Starbucks for some people. So with that, remember, I want you to have the day that you're meant to have, because you have control over one thing. That's how you respond to the things that happen to you. So make it great, make it happy, make it blessed, wonderful, and make somebody else's day by smiling at them today.
Absolutely.
Yes. And with that, we're out, and we will see you back on Monday. What are we talking about on Monday? On Monday, we're going to be talking about going from anxious to awesome. We're going to get out of those feelings of anxiety and learn how to relax and enjoy our lives. So we love you. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis